Shalom, shalom, shalom. Where's my remote? Good afternoon. This is Watchman Michael Lewis, pastor of Yahusha House of Prayer. I'll just be speaking into your hearing for a few minutes just to let you know that I love you, and I'm checking out one of the phones that I've been having problems with. I've been running back and forth to these stores trying to handle business concerning these because I take serious the business that the Most High has given unto me, which is to teach His word. And the platform that He gave me is, being able to use Facebook Live. So I'm not going to be on here long. Again, I'm just rechecking the channels of the disconnect that I have with my phone. This particular phone that I'm using now is one that I had in the bedroom. I had it for many years, and it still works. It's doing fine. Facebook is cool. But while I'm on here, I would like to share kill a myth. I want to kill a myth. For those of you that don't really know me, something I want to explain to you is I am not against denominations. I'm not against other believers. I'm not a brother that is a hater. Not at all. If you knew me, you know I love Yah and I love. What I am against is the false teaching. What I am against is the false doctrine. What I totally stand apart from is lies. This is why I come on Facebook Live. I'm not here to make no enemies. I know I'm not going to have a whole lot of friends, but those that I grew up with, elementary, junior high, high school, even going to Delta College with a few, you know me. I'm not a hater at all. But when it comes to this walk, I take my walk very serious. And all I'm trying to do, again, is touch your dome, tickle that brainium, that cranium, to get you to begin to research these things. Look this stuff up for yourself. We're in the condition and we have the problems that we have today. One is because we don't study. And it's kind of hard on a whole lot of us because, when we went into slavery, this is something that they was totally against. You ever reading, you ever comprehending, you ever finding out for yourself. So they kept it the knowledge away from us. Now that we have access to it, we still don't use it. Yeah, some have gone on to college and, got them degrees, A, B, A. You got your masters. Some even went and got the doctorate. But when it comes to this word, I'm talking about the Bible. When it comes to that concrete teaching, even with our majors and degrees, even with a doctorate behind us, we really don't research. Whatever comes out of that pulpit, and if they got any kind of title in front of their name or the DDS to go behind the name or whatever initials you want to use, man, we will suck it up like what is that? Gravy and a biscuit and gravy, sopping up back in the day. Yeah. But I'm saying this to say, look, I'm not against my brothers that are out teaching the word. I admonish you. I admire you. I lift you up. I praise the Most High for you standing in the gap. All I'm asking you to do, man, come on, reason. The Bible say, let us reason together. Let us reason together. There's some things that we were taught, that we were made to believe, and we have sucked it up as it is 100% proof, and it ain't. We find out that most of the gospel that we have been able to touch our ears, man, it's worse than Thunderbird. For those of you who remember Thunderbird back in the day, grape Kool-Aid, yeah. It's worse than Thunderbird. It's worse than Whiteport. It's worse than Sangria. Yeah, although when we were coming up, all of them was good. Mad Dog 2020. Although we were drinking those things, we thought it was cool, and it wasn't. It wasn't. You know, it wasn't until we got a little older and had a little change in our pocket that we began to experience, you know, the Parmesan, going into the Hennessy's, man. Yeah, and we found out that that drink was a little bit different than all the other alcohols that we was drinking. Why? It's the same way with this gospel, with this doctrine, with these different teachings. Again, look, I adjure you, please go check it out for yourself. In the book of Ephesians, 4th chapter, look what God say. It's only one Lord. It's only one faith. It's only one baptism. It's only one God that is in all, above all, and he's through us all. So if God says only one, it ain't about being Baptist. It ain't about being Methodist. It's not even about being Catholic. You know, again, years ago, the Most High God gave me this concept. He says the ABCs of the gospel. And I just want to share it with you. I am apostolic. Why? Because I believe in the doctrine that the apostles was given by who? Jesus Christ. I'm Baptist. Why? Because I believe in being baptized in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. I'm Catholic. Why? Because I believe God has a universal church. Yeah, I'm Church of Christ. Why? Because I'm a member of the body of Christ. I'm Church of God in Christ. Why? Because God was in Christ, reconciling the world back to himself. I'm a Methodist because I believe in the method that God used, which is to preach to save wicked man. I'm a Muslim. Why? Because I believe in total submission to one God. I am a Jehovah's Witness. Why? Because I witness for the Lord. Like Paul said, I became all things to all men. I know I ain't going to win all of you. I'm just trying to win some, the ones that he already chose. So when it comes to these denominations, I ask a question again. If you can show me in the Bible where God, not man, remember who we dealing with. I ain't talking about something that a man started. Show me in the Bible where God say be Baptist, where God say be Catholic, where God say be Methodist, Pentecostal, Buddhist, any of them. He don't say that. He says be what? Holy. Holy is a lifestyle. It's the way you live. He say, be ye holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Holiness is not a denomination. This is what the children of Israel were when they came up out of Egypt. They were a set-apart people. That's all. Set apart for who? For the master's use. If you living on this earth right now, you are to be set aside for the master's use. God, the creator, the maker of both the heavens and the earth. Again, I'm begging you, please, from the cranium, your dome, your spot, the abdo oblongata, the back of the head, where your memory, the vortexes, they hold thought, where the word come through to filter. Look, let this thing ignite your senses to go study. Man, it's time out for us being confused. I mean, they have brought a great deception. Again, I posted the lessons that I'm going to be teaching on this Saturday. We call it the Sabbath. God call it the Sabbath. He never said worship on Sunday. But look, I'm not mad at y'all. I still go fellowship every now and then on a Sunday. But I keep the day, he say Friday night, Saturday night. I keep that day holy as it's recorded in the Bible. You ain't going to find nowhere in there God again. We talking about God, the one who gave us the rules. There's a movie called The Rules of Engagement. When you go to war, there's a declaration that got to be pushed first. And then according to that war, there's certain things you are not supposed to do. And then there's things that you're supposed to be able to get away with doing. Well, it's the same way with God. He has a declaration. His declaration he gave to the children of Israel. He gave them commandments how to live. And again, I told y'all, look, God ain't never done away with the commandments. That's man talking about you ain't got to keep them. Again, God says in Jeremiah, he say, I will no longer write my law on a table of stone. I used to have a rock in the house somewhere. Yeah, not that one that you smoke. I got a little bitty rock somewhere. I got it. Oh, there you go. He say, look, it's real small. But he say, I will no longer write it on the table of stone. You know, the commandments were written on stone when Moses came up out of the mountain. He say, I'm no longer going to write it on a stone, but I'm going to write it in their hearts. So if he say he not writing the commandments on stone, but they written in your heart, man, we still got to keep them. They ain't done away with. And this is what the church and I see different. So I'm asking you, please, don't believe nothing I say. Research that stuff. I'll give you scriptures to go back it up. All you got to do, go read it. First thing you got to do is pray and ask the Father to lead and guide you into the truth. And once you ask him to lead and guide you into the truth, then you ask him to give you understanding. He say, with all your getting get an understanding. He say, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the know-how of what you understand. If you don't know how, then you can't understand what you don't know. And this is where the Bible seems to be a discrepancy as to what the rule of engagements is for God, but it ain't. He laid down the rules in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Then when it comes to the other parts of the Bible, because the children of Israel, they were disobedient. You know how we were growing up in the projects, Tufo, down in West Oakland, Campbell Village, hanging out in Cyprus. Come on. Y'all remember how bad y'all was? Come on. I ain't the only one. Don't leave me hanging. Yeah. We were some bad boogers growing up. We got away with a whole lot of stuff. But, you know, that was times, man, my mom wasn't merciful. And sometimes when y'all came to my house, I tell you got to go. Because I know I'm supposed to get that butt whooped. So I ain't want you to see me get a whooping. My mama was a disciplinarian. So like my mama was a disciplinarian, so is our daddy, which is in heaven. So the children of Israel became disobedient. Now he told them, look, as long as you keep my commandments, long as you doing it like the way I asked you to do it, this is the same way you got your children living in your house. They telling you what time to go to bed? No, not in your house. Telling you when you can eat and when you can't eat, not in your house. So why is it any different in God's house, y'all? The same thing. The same rules apply. He said he created the heavens and the earth. As it is in the heavens, so is it in the earth. He gave commandment unto man, told man, look, you rule all this, you control all this. And what we stopped doing, the first day on the job. Wow. First, well, you know, about 1,000 years, but, you know, it say one day is 1,000 years and 1,000 years is like one day in the eyes of God. So the first day on the job, man, Adam listening to his wife, kicking it with Eve in the garden. Could have ate everything up in there, but they saw because of the enemy, the devil. Hey, eat. Come here, chicka. Hey, let me holler at you. I know you with your dude, but this is for your ears. I got something for you. You see that fruit right there? Look here. It's going to make you just as wise as God. And Adam standing right there listening to the conversation too. Man, I grew up back in the day, man. I had some partners. You couldn't holler at that girl. They check you right there. Chin check, clip. You going to sleep. Night, night. Night, night. Ready to go night, night? Yeah. But Adam stood there, allowed his wife to be talked to by somebody else. And then she ate, turned to him, handed it to him. He ate, and then the door was open to sin. Ever since that day, man has been struggling to get back on the right path with God. So I'm telling y'all, no, I'm not telling you. I'm asking you, look, again, don't believe nothing I say. Go back and read those things in the Old Testament. They're written for our learning, y'all. They put in there for a reason. And when you come to the New Testament, you find out those things that was written in the Old, Jesus brought them to the New. In the book of Deuteronomy 6 and 5, it says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Then he say, to love your neighbor as yourself. That's Leviticus 19:18. Now these was asked to him in the New Testament. He told them the greatest of all the commandments was those right there that he just quoted from the Old Testament. So all I'm trying to get y'all to understand is this. Everything that they saying was done away in the Old Testament. When it come to them laws and them commandments, Now, ceremonial laws, we don't keep no more. That's the one where you offer up that sacrifice, animals. We don't have to do no animal sacrifices. But as far as obedience go and love go, that has never changed. The Bible said that the Father loved us so much that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in Yahushua HaMashiach should not perish but have everlasting life. So again, look, I'm expressing with great expressness. I guess that's the word I can use, but with expedience, with great expediency. Look, man, Russia, Germany, Iraq, Iran, and Korea, they're doing some things to America for a reason. Now, some of y'all ain't up on this, but I'm gonna give you a little history. Although slavery began in the 1500s, it wasn't until 1619, August the 20th, 1619, that 20 black people were brought into America, North America, brought to Jamestown, Virginia, August the 20th, 1619. Now in the Bible, God talks with Abraham, and he tells Abraham in the book of Genesis, he say, your people are going to be enslaved for 400 years. Now, for those that go to school and, you went to them theologian colleges and you came up with 430, well, that's inaccurate. God never said 430 years. He said 400, and he's emphatic about it. So the 430 comes when he gives that prophecy to Abraham until Joseph comes on the scene. That's 215 years. Then from Joseph until the children of Israel come out of Egypt, that's another 215, which makes a total of 430 years. But they were not slaves for 430 years, just 215. So that 400-year prophecy, who did it befall? Well, if you ever get a chance, again, go read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and verse 15 through 68, but you can read it verse 1 through 13. That's just the blessing. But verse 15 through 68, these were the curses that only befell one race of people on the face of the earth today. And guess what? You that's listening to this video right now, your descendants were them. Yeah. Verse 68 say, and you shall go into Egypt again. Now look, the children of Israel, they just came out of Egypt, y'all. They just came out of Egypt. And if you do the research and the history, you will find out they went back to Egypt. They walked on their own. They went back walking. But God said, this time you're going by way of ship and you will never see it again. Now, we know about different captivities that they went to foreign lands, and guess what? They came back home. Yeah. Well, this one, he say, you're going to go into captivity again, and you'll never see that land again. Well, all I got to ask is, look, do your research. Tell me what race of people on the face of the earth been scattered around the four corners, as the Bible say, and they are still in that land. I'll wait. I'm waiting. Oh, okay. Answer? All right. It's the African American. The triangle, the triangle, the slave trade. See, I can't even think of the name of it. The triangle. Yeah, not the Bermuda Triangle. It was called the triangle because it went from England, Africa, Caribbean islands, North America, and back. Yeah. And this is where we at right now. He said, I'll scatter you to the four corners of the earth. We've been scattered. Again, don't take my word, please. Research. Go read these things for yourself. Read them. Find out for yourself. It's in the Bible for a reason. God said, my people are destroyed because we lack knowledge. You know, while we were enslaved down south, our kinfolks, right? They sung a song. Now here goes another proof. They sung a song called Kumbaya. Kumbaya means come by here, Yah. God's name is Y-A-H, Yah. So they said Kumbaya, they were saying come by here, Yah. And guess what, y'all? That's a Hebrew song. And in 1492, before that dude faked like he discovered the something, selling the deep blue, however the saying go. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Do they still get that dude a holiday, man? Yeah, Christopher Columbus. You know, he was smoking them trees. Got into a city and called them people, oh yeah, you called Indians. I discovered America. Now, how you discover land where people already kicking it at? That was the hoodwink, bamboozle. Yeah, come on. Anywho, 1492, there was the Spanish Inquisition along with the Portuguese Inquisition. And when you get time, please go study them Inquisitions. You'll find out over 800,000 black Hebrews, dark-skinned folk, were kicked out of Spain and Portugal. They were sent to Negro land, which is right by Sierra Leone, Ghana, Western Africa, the Bantu people, Igbo, yeah, they were taken from right there. They knew where they was already kicking it at. They say, oh, we know where we go get some people from. And the first thing they did, enslaved them. The Portuguese started it. Arabs saw how cool it was. Then they got back on board. America seen it was a profitable business. They got off into it. Now, here go the kicker, man. Somebody came up with a great scheme of things, said, look, black people are 3/5 human. Oh, so they wrote a law. We can turn these savages into Christians. Aha, see, there go that word Christian. And I told you on Saturday, I'm going to be teaching on what it's called the way. Ever before they was called Christians, and again, Christian was not something to be smiled upon. Christianity was a business, y'all, and it still is. It's a lucrative business. Ask T.D. Jakes. Ask Creflo Dollar. I'm just going to throw out a couple. Paula Stone, Paula White, whatever her name is. Joyce Myers. Very lucrative business. With all them hundreds of millions they got poor people still giving in their audience. But they ain't breaking them off. Because Christianity is a business. And they knew that they could go around the globe conquering, using a fictitious name and saying it's done in the name of Christ for the Christians. And that's the Roman Catholic Church. So again, I bid you adieu. Watchman Michael Lewis, pastor of Yahusha's House of Prayer. Daniel, the 2nd chapter, go read it. Daniel 7, the whole 7th chapter, but verse 25. Verse 25 is the main focus of I'm going to bring out some stuff. Yeah, but on my page, you got to go look at that video. What is it? From Babylon to America? No. Yeah. From Babylon to America. Y'all got to go watch that video. It's about 2 hours long, but the information that you will get from it, so you could find out, man. Malcolm said it best. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. We've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led asmuck, and run astray. And we ain't Muslim, y'all. We ain't Muslim. Muslims is the cousins of ours. And because they got evicted, from the beginning. Abraham, first son, Ishmael, he got eviction papers. And because he got evicted, that dude have a perpetual hate for us today. Why you think they over there chopping off our heads right now? The dark-skinned folk. Why you think they taking off their head? Because those are our cousins. They know who we are. They are mad because the promise didn't fall on Ishmael. It fell on Isaac. And from Isaac, when he had his twin boys, Esau and Jacob, it didn't fall on Esau. He sold his birthright. So Esau is mad at us. They were twins, right? Esau is the Edomians now, the white folk. The ones that's ruling. And in the book of 2nd Esdras 6:9, it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that follows. So after the end of the world happens, Jacob, who is Jacob? That's us. And they know this. This is why they don't want you to wake up. Man, I said all that just to say this. August the 20th, 2019, it's the ending of the 400-year curse on us. See, all these nations knew we had a curse on us. They knew it. They knew we were disobedient. We didn't follow the teachings of the Most High. We went out there and, man, we start praying to them statues. And Solomon, he didn't help. That dude married, how many women he married? 700 something wives. Each one of his wives led him to go set up a doggone statue. Look, the boy was so deep in sexual sin that it took him from worshiping the Most High God. Now, he grew up watching his daddy, who had nothing but favor with the Most High God. And then all of a sudden, when he become king, he got lifted up and man started looking at them chicks. And before you know it, he done hooked up with 700 and had 300 wives and 700 concubines. And then he had the sense enough to say, man, all is vanity. All is vanity and vexation of the spirit. Beauty is vain. Now you want to say it, but it led him away from the teachings of the Most High God. And this dude began to worship other gods. And this is why the kingdom was taken out of his hands and it became split. He caused that rift because he no longer walked with the Most High God. And then all of a sudden Judah started doing what she was doing, and so did the other 10 kingdoms. But again, look, prophecy is prophecy. So we ends up over here enslaved, y'all, because of what Solomon done. He began to worship statues. He began to bring in the idol worship. Then Rehoboam and Jeroboam, and then all the kings. And it tell you, no longer the kings walked right with God. So he ended up having to let us go into captivity. Yeah, the Babylonian captivity, Assyrian captivity, the Greek captivity, Roman captivity. We kept being captive. Why? Because we kept being disobedient. You know, that's just like, you know, some of y'all got them hard-headed children like I was. The Bible say, spatteroid, you spoil the what? Child. Spatteroid. Yeah, whoop, 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 whoop. Give them a whooping. Say, beat them. They shall not die. Yeah. Well, that's what happened to us. The more he let us go into slavery, when we come out, oh man, we thinking we cool. Why? Because we worshiping witches and warlocks and praying to incense and trees. Look, we praying to trees and grass and all kind of stuff, y'all. And the Most High say, oh no, see, this time when you go into captivity, if you don't learn off of this one, by us coming over here in America, being enslaved for 400 years, and y'all know y'all ain't free right now. Police, you go outside, you scared to let your child walk to the store. Why? Scared the police will shoot him. If the police don't shoot him, somebody on the street drive by. This is the curse that has befallen man. Again, don't believe me. Go read this stuff for yourself. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Look, go read Obadiah. Go read Nehemiah. Go read Jeremiah, Isaiah. All this stuff is in the Bible. Then don't be scared. Read Revelations, where it talks about the great white whore, Babylonian. Babylon, the mystery. You'll find out it's America, y'all. She got to fall. And again, I'm saying on August the 20th, I can't stress this no further. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know what's in the Father's hand. All I know is on August the 20th, the curse is lifted. Now, what's going to happen after that? I can't tell you. All I know is this. You better have your bootstraps on. You better have your pants laced up. You better have that belt buckle tight. And you sister that's wearing them dresses, you better put on some running shoes, because whatever's getting ready to go down, it's going down. Because Esau know he's at the end of the road. And his job, he wants to destroy everything. He know it's going to fall back into our hands. This is why you got people talking about, well, what they going to do with their reparations? They ain't been doing nothing. All they going to do is go down to the corner store. Go make who? The Arab rich? Or y'all supposed to go buy all that hair, make the Chinese rich, run in there and go get some exotic nails done. Come on, y'all. Time to use your brain. Don't go spend your ducats. It's time for us to get ready to get up out of here. Time to get ready to run. We don't know where we running to, but I tell you what. Got my shoes on, put on them traveling shoes. Yeah, I got on slippers right now. But in a minute, first to put on them running shoes, y'all. Yeah, come on, it's time for us to wake up. We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. We've been lied to. We are the most generous people on the face of the earth. You know, white people see you, the first thing they want to do, run and jump on the other side of the street. I used to mess with their head. I cross over for them. Show them, I'm scared of you. You ain't got to be scared of me. I'm scared of you because I don't know what you're going to do. But look, I said all that to say this, y'all. It's time for us to really research all this stuff that we've been taught down through the year. And look, again, watch, in closing. We were given Christianity while we were slaves. Why? Why of all things did they give us Christianity? Come on, think about it. It made you more docile, made you more humble, subdued you to what the truth was. Yeah. In the book of Revelation, Jesus described his hair like wool. See that? Hair like wool, curls. Feet of bronze, burnt bronze. Look like me. Eyes like fire. See that fire in my eyes, y'all? Pretty brown. Yeah, his was red. But this is what he said. Hair like wool, feet like bronze as it burnt in a furnace. Come on, man. Go put a piece of white meat in your oven right now. Just leave it in there till it get burnt. What color it turn? It ain't white no more. Come on, y'all. It's time to wake up. Our God is the same color as us. The Hebrew Israelites always have been. The word Hebrew, Igbo, mean black, dark. The word nigger, we ain't come from over there. Nigger mean black. Nigger is in Africa. That's where we came from. Yeah, Israel, in Africa. All them Iraq, Iran, Africa. They just cut it in pieces and said, oh, this is the Middle East. No, it's the northern part of Africa. Don't get fooled. These were the lies that they conditioned us to believe, y'all. And because we don't read, search. We read, but we don't read, search. We don't search what we read. When you begin to search what you're reading, man, there's a door that opens up your understanding, because the Father says, search for me as you do a hidden treasure. Well, it ain't just going to be in your Bible, y'all. That's part of the history. He said, if everything that was written about him It could not be contained in all the libraries of the world. So that means there was some other books written, y'all. We got other books taken straight out the Bible. In the book of Joshua 10:13, it talks about a book called Jasher. In the book of Samuel, the first chapter, it talks about a book called Jasher. Where is the book of Jasher? Taken out of the Bible. Again, I told y'all, look, on Saturday, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, but I ain't going to be on that till 1. I don't know. This time I might be, but because there's so much information that I got to share. I got to share on this Saturday, y'all. Look, I'm telling you, you got to take out time to go research this stuff for yourself. Again, I'm not against none of the churches. I don't hate none of my brothers, the pastors, the preachers, not against none of y'all. Man, it's just time for us to come together on some different type of stuff. Not who's in charge, who got the biggest church. That's irrelevant. Because none of this belong to us or your pastor. We belong to who? The Most High God. And it ain't until we get that concept, we all gonna be hoarding that little bit that we got, thinking it's ours, and it ain't. He said, you didn't call me, I chose you. So since he chose us, it's time for us to come back together as one. That's why he said, Father, make them one, even as what? You and I are one. That was his prayer. That was his desire. He never intended for all these churches to be on the face of the earth. Why? Why do we got in one area 5 churches in the span of 2 blocks? Why? Because something's wrong. Something's missing. We can't get along with one another. Why? Because of the denomination that is hanging over your head. Again, I told you, if you can show me in the Bible where God promotes a denomination, I'll become it. You can't show me where God said anything about a denomination. You can't find Jesus, Yahushua HaMashiach, claiming to be a denomination. He said, be ye holy. That was it. Not a denomination, it's a way of life. He said, be ye holy, for I, the Lord, your Yah, God, am holy. Not Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, Apostolic, none of those. Again, woe to the preachers who lead my flock astray. That's right, little cousin. That's Jeremiah 23rd chapter. Go read Jeremiah 23rd. That's a special place for us preachers, pastors that lead the flock astray. He got a special place designed just for us leaders. And guess what? I'm not trying to go there. That's why I'm on here. Admonishing, hoping that I can tickle your brain, your cranium, your dome to go search this stuff. We running out of time, y'all. Again, Russia, Germany, Iraq, Iran, Korea, China. They are all friends for a reason. America has to fall. She has to. It's Bible prophecy. So it's time for you to wake up. In the book of Romans, again, closing, in the book of Romans, he say high time for you to awaken out of the sleep that I put you in. Again, we were the chosen people designed from the beginning of the book, the Hebrew Israelites. And I done told you, I done took 4 different DNAs, and I know there's some that oh, your DNA can't say that you are Hebrew. Well, it told me I was related to Pharaoh Ramses the second, the third. All of a sudden, I ain't getting no argument out of that. Soon as that picture pop up, King Ramses, Pharaoh the third. I'm like, wow, if it say that I share DNA with Pharaoh Ramses the third, then guess what, y'all? That means the Bible is real. Oh, why do I say that? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Look. Joseph was sold into Egypt, remember? Go back and read your Bible. Joseph was sold into Egypt. That boy rose so high, he was second only to the Pharaoh. Now the Hebrews move into Egypt, and what they doing? Intermingling with the Egyptians, y'all. That's how my DNA got mingled with Pharaoh Ramses the third. Bible prophecy. Oh, they just hated me when I popped that one up out of them. I'm like, wow. Now, I told you my DNA say E1B1, which is the DNA of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So now, wow, look, here it is. DNA don't lie. But that DNA don't mean nothing. Just because I am a blood relative of a Hebrew Israelite, it don't give me carte blanche. It don't put me in the kingdom. It put me in the line for the promises of the firstborn. But I got to believe just like everybody else. I have to accept him as my Lord and Savior as anybody else. I got to follow and keep his commandments just like everybody else. It's time for us to go back to worshiping on the day that he said, remember the Sabbath, not Sunday. Sunday worship come from Constantine, 325 AD. Do your research, but I'm going to bring all that out on the Sabbath. But in the meantime, go to my page. You have to watch Babylon to America, the movie, 2 hours long. Shalom, peace and love.